are these people?
Worldwide, what we saw was a global workers' protest that actually bled into the U.S. Thankfully, there was
Hmm.
some solidarity. But I'm going to continue with another Common Dream story, which also appeared in SheerPost. On Black Friday, Amazon workers in 40 plus countries strike and protest despicable treatment. I love it. This is great. So, what happened? Here's garment workers in Bangladesh taking part in a Make Amazon Pay demonstration on Friday. So, more than 30 countries participated. Thousands of Amazon workers in more than 40 countries are planning to mark Black Friday by walking off the job and protesting the corporate behemoth's abuse of employees and the climate, as well as its chronic avoidance of taxes while raking in huge profits. Hell yeah, Jake Johnson. Love that sentence. Make Amazon Pay, which, by the way, is a website, makeamazonpay.com or .org. We're going to go to it, and I'm going to put in a tweet from there later. Actions are expected to include marches and rallies for union recognition in Bangladesh, strikes at nearly 20 warehouses in France and Germany, walkouts in a dozen cities in the U.S., and a protest by newly organized workers, unionized workers in Japan. We have to make Amazon pay all its workers a decent wage in dignified workplaces for its environmental damage. Today, unions, civil society, and progressive elected officials will stand shoulder to shoulder in a massive global day of action to denounce Amazon's despicable multi-million-dollar campaigns to kill worker-led union efforts. And that's the president of UNI Global Union, Christy Hoffman. So it's time for the tech giant, quote, to cease their awful, unsafe practices immediately, respect the law, and negotiate with the workers who want to make their jobs better. That is talking about the unwillingness to recognize the ALU specifically. As they're about to say, that Amazon spent around $4.3 million, literally, like Jeff Bezos with the finger and the Dr. Evil, on anti-union consultants in the U.S. last year as it worked to crush historic organizing efforts in Alabama, of course, at RDU 1, and New York at JFK 8, and at the other one in 5, number 5. Oh God, the one where Tristan Lyon worked. I'm losing my mind. LDJ 5. It's LDJ
losing.
5. So workers ultimately voted earlier this year to unionize at Staten Island warehouse, the first ever, like we said, organized union in the U.S. It was LDJ 5. It's the other warehouse in Staten Island. I just brain farted for a second. Meanwhile, I love it when they put that in. Amazon avoided $5 billion in federal corporate income taxes in the U.S. last year, according to the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, as the company continued to shortchange and exploit its employees, who were frequently injured on the job as they raced to meet the company's punishing productivity measures. Again, we've talked about a lot of that too. So, across the globe, the workers who make Amazon's vast logistics network and numerous businesses possible say they're often subjected to inhumane treatment and forced to labor under grueling conditions to earn a meager paycheck as company executives grow richer each year. And some of them aren't even meager. They are meager in comparison to CEO Andy Jassy, who received $213 million in total compensation in 2021. That is beyond an obscene amount. And there are people that say that he earned that because the company earned X billion and he's in and that's what his pay plan says. And a lot of that is in bonuses and stock. And it turns out that a lot of the stock has gone down in value and it's not nearly what that is. And some of it's in options that he then has to spend his own money to buy and cash out of. And a lot of it he may not even buy at the time that it's, but stupid. Garment workers, like those I represent, toil to swell Amazon's coffers, often without any recognition that we're Amazon workers, said Nazma Akhter, president of the Samalito Garment Shramik Federation in Bangladesh. Amazon is the third largest direct employer in the world. But when you take us into the supply chain into account, it's actually even bigger. Even larger. And at work, they can face sexual harassment from management, victimization when they try to organize in a trade union against that violence and for better pay and conditions. Wow, that almost sounds like what happens here in a lot of cases. Again, that's in Bangladesh. They're on the front line of climate breakdown. And we've covered some of that too.
Yep.
So they know climate justice and social justice cannot be separated. We need to make Amazon pay, hashtag make Amazon pay, all its workers a decent wage in dignified workplaces and for its environmental damage. Yeah. They disclosed earlier this year that it emitted the equivalent of 71.54 million metric tons of carbon dioxide in 2021, which is likely a significant undercount given how they calculate their footprint and that they want to actually make themselves look better. I didn't, Jake didn't write that. I just added that extra line. So, Progressive International's Make Amazon Pay coordinator, and this is who's coordinating this globally, is Progressive International and a huge host of groups, and we'll go over that in a minute. So we all know that the price of everything is going up, as is the temperature of our planet. Okay, instead of paying its workers fairly, its taxes in full, and for its damage to our environment, Amazon is squeezing every last drop it can from workers, communities, the planet. Sure. And so is the U.S. military. Amazon is, and the U.S. military. Let's not forget that. And so this guy wrote an op-ed in Jacobin, or they did, that as cost of living soar worldwide, that their hardline stances against improving workplace conditions and recognizing unions remain unchanged. So they're doing the same thing everywhere else that they're doing to Chris Smalls and to ALU and to the guys at RWDSU and to the Teamsters that are trying to organize and to Amazon Cause. Shout out to Amazon Cause down in North Carolina. Love those folks. They're doing amazing work. In the UK, it offered workers a ridiculous 35 pence raise per hour in August. In other words, a massive real-term pay cut.
That's
yeah.
35 pence?
Well, that's
is
like
a massive real-term pay cut?
Well, it's 35 cents an hour. Well, because if you're not giving them a raise, they're actually, because of cost of living, they're getting paid, that dollar is coming out plus taxes. In France and Germany, workers also rejected having their pay cut.
I feel like that barely covers inflation.
It doesn't even. That's the point. It actually puts them worse off.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a raise and I'm putting you worse off than you were before.
Yeah.
Because aren't I the benevolent king for giving you a raise? Which after taxes,
right.
The 35 pence turns into 16 pence. All right. And yeah, it's just insane.
Yeah.
So in France and Germany, workers also rejected having their pay cut in real terms. Amazon made $33.3 billion in profit in 2021, but it won't pay its workers a fair share. And you can't just say Bezos anymore. Bezos is one of the largest shareholders. He's a founder. He's on the executive board of the chairmanship, but he is not running the day-to-day operations anymore. This guy, Andy Jassy, is. He's really the guy we should be screaming at, the guy whose doorstep we should be laying on every day. Yeah, it's going to line Bezos' pockets, but Andy Jassy is now the one in control of the ship. So to make Amazon pay, we can clearly not rely on goodwill. Instead, Amazon workers and their trade unions, environmentalists, tax watchdogs, regulators need to get together and fight back. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Quote, that's why workers and organizers are uniting on November 25th in a campaign to make Amazon pay. From the U.S. to Bangladesh, Germany, South Africa, Amazon will face coordinated strikes and protests demanding that Amazon raises wages above inflation for all its workers, stops union busting, decarbonizes its whole supply chain, and pays its fair share of taxes everywhere. So there was this Laura girl who tweeted about Make Amazon Pay. My guess is that she's working with the organization. And I did go to this makeamazonpay.com to see like who's involved, and it's a pretty impressive list of people. And it didn't just happen in the U.S., worldwide, but it said that in dozens of facilities in the U.S., including at STL 8, there were workers who walked off the job, and even I thought this guy hated labor and didn't really like workers. Jimmy Dore? Wait, Jimmy Dore retweeted that? Get out. Wait, I thought he's a right winger. He doesn't like workers. Come on. All right. Shout out, Jimmy.
Fuck you.
Thanks. I teased the next story. Damn it. All right.
Did you?
A little bit. But I'm gonna go back to a 2-shot. We'll escape out of this. And I did want to go to that make AmazonPay.com and show you guys who's involved. All right, let's go back here. All right, we're going to make Amazon Pay. So, what's going on here? Again, this is run by Progressive International. And right away, it's available in a lot of languages, which is great. Okay, they've got the sign up form. All the countries where they're organizing. There's a toolkit to organize your own. And then you've got, here's the coalition: Progressive International, UNI Global Union, Amazon Workers International, 350. And then here we go. They literally had to put this in alphabetical order because there are so many in every country that are participating in this action, which is really cool. This is organizing.
Greenpeace.
And it's across organizations we may not always agree with and align with. International Federation of Journalists. I'm guessing that they're also like part of the mainstream media. The ITW, the ITWF, some of the big labor unions, but I did not see Amazon Labor Union involved. I did not see the Public Citizen. We like those guys. That was founded by Ralph Nader. Sunrise Movement. Okay, and I was looking for, I don't see any of the other major unions that we had interviewed or looked at as involved in organizing Amazon in the US. But some of them still had walkouts in their facilities. So I just wanted you to be aware of this website, makeamazonpay.com. They are actually trying to do things to organize workers worldwide and take action, which I think is pretty damn cool. So, yes, Jimmy Dore is word violence. Thank you, Eric. Eric T. Red.
Jimmy Dore.
Welcome to the show. We got Care Bear Colin in the house, INN. Go check out his interview with Kadal Rani from the anniversary stream. That was great. We got Rick Solis here.
I would never remembered that name.
I've typed it like 50 times. I definitely remembered it. Andy must do more than 4,000. Yeah, more than the average worker. You bet. .com.